Okay. Oh, craziness since your last night. Um, I got home and uh, yesterday I said, there was an Indian family involved in this. I told you about them before. Uh, January of 2019, gastrology specialist. They scoped my stomach. There was an older Indian guy there. Once they got me where Dave couldn't see me, he was at the end of the bed, help guiding it. That's my princess. You better take care of her. Okay? And he's sitting there making over me, and I don't know him. Okay? Him and his Indian family were following me around. They followed me to the mall, they followed me all kinds of places. Last time I seen him was in March. Okay? With one of the goons. Okay? Um, there was Indian ladies that showed up at Pizza Hut in Canal Fault when I was working there, July of 19. Henry said she has too low of an IQ to ever meet it would hurt his head to even her, and was mocking me. I'm like, I'm just their victim that they have drugged the hell out of, cut up, raped, tortured, publicly humiliated, and made money off this, and you want to make fun of me for surviving your concentration camp? Okay? Well, Michelle's mother showed up with one of the other bitch diva mothers. It's really something. The other day at Walmart, people would rather go after her than do the right thing and help her. Okay? And mocking me in Walmart in front of people. Okay? I've been going over that the police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life. Failure to notify for initiating and speaking to the other person in the home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. Okay? Mm-hmm. It goes into a legal search and seizure, right to privacy. Okay? So I even found it on Google. If a police tape you unaware in your home, not only can they never use it, the officer loses their badge and they get 1 to 4 years. They can't just break in your house and watch you. You have the right to remain quiet. You have a right to legal representation. You have a right to a fair court trial, bail and bond, and a right to privacy. Mm-hmm. The Fourth Amendment, the right to privacy, your people's places and homes will be safe and secure. No warrant will be issued for search or seizure without probable cause and warranted with oath or affirmation. So unless they have a special protected light case set up before the FBI and mine and Dave's Miranda rights and them talking to me about a threat of my life, the only thing that can happen is they go to jail and they could never use it. That's even what Officer Reinhardt in Louisville said. He started laughing about the situation. It comes down to no matter what, we could never look or listen, and it'd be illegal to. It cost him his badge as an accessory aiding and abetting. A Stark County sheriff cannot break into a private citizen's home and watch him. They have all those rights. That officer would get stalking charges. They would lose their badge, go to jail. Mm-hmm. And they could never use it, let alone for retired Judge Pizza Hack. He's not even a sitting judge. Okay? He has no authority. He's just a crook. And those dirty cops up there helping out for them to get everything. Photoshopping a shower scene. I gave you the list of the people that knew about that, and the drugs and confessions. And people not seeing drug confessions, and some people not seeing any wrongdoing. That's where it's rich. like I said, nurse at Mercy Medical, March 13, 21. They came in, they threw Will's promises at me. No man will ever touch her. Okay? Nurse comes in laughing. The only thing they had on you was adjusting yourself. I looked at her. She said, you just simply wiped off some water with clothes on. The guy said, that's sick. She said, no, it's funny. That's all they had. No touching, not exposing, not being weird. Nothing. And no wrong talking. Or had giant bruises and hand marks. Their so-called sodium pentothal reports are telling everybody they use ecstasy, date rape drugs, human slave drugs. You're awake and you're walking around, you don't know what you're doing. They're not funny doing that to me. Or impersonating an FBI agent for a call well back and they drug me out so I couldn't tell him. That's bitch. Okay? What's really not funny is they got paid by the state of Ohio to protect me. And then they sat and did more crimes for the judge's daughters and daughter, Michelle, that's retired. That's friends with a sitting magistrate over that county. Like Officer Reinhardt said, that whole county couldn't even work a case against you. Your whole life, they go to jail. And like he said, we couldn't even ever look or listen, but Will's case is the special protected light cases. And he had to take your statement and agree to protect you or they couldn't be in there. And then that officer talked to Dave. Well, I got home last night. Now, there was a guy with black hair and glasses. Had a New York accent. He wouldn't let anybody be mean to me when he was around. Well, he was in the apartment building 4 mine. Third apartment over is a bad apartment. Second one, rat him out, went to the police on Dave on 8-9 first thing in the morning. But then the third apartment's been part of this and saying stuff to me. Well, the lady's outside talking to him when I pulled in and said, I want nothing to do with it. I found out it's only that family doing it to her. And I could hear his voice with that New York accent. And he said, well, she really sucks being an informant. She couldn't keep anything to herself. I'm like, shut up. You left me up there to die. You let me almost get shot driving. You let me get the drug the hell out of, cut up on 12/21/18. You let me get raped and tortured between July and September 19, trying to help that Asian lady. You let me get publicly humiliated. And you want to say I suck? I was so pissed last night. These pathetic panty waste. And what's scary is the Stark County sheriffs are aiding and abetting these crimes. 2 of the Stark County sheriffs were carrying around the house state case. See, I actually talked to an FBI agent. Reinhardt knew him. His name was Will, worked at the camp ranch. Okay? He started a protected light custody case, turned it over to the police, not knowing that it was a corrupt police department. And they were doing it for Michelle. Because if he knew any of this, he's aiding and abetting an accessory. He knew nothing. And he left me up there to die out of gross negligence. Because you don't want to say he knew any of this. Because the law is, if a police break in and watch you, not only can you not look or listen, it's 1 to 4 years and they lose their badge. They can't break in private property. They couldn't break in the next door neighbors and start stalking them. Stalking. It's illegal search and seizure. They can't break in and then brag to people they put a shower scene in the other room. And they use date rape drugs on you and told you to say something stupid and then race people out of the room. I have like the stupidest criminals around me. And over 10 people told on the shower scene and over 10 to 12 for drugging me out and telling me to say stuff before. And what's scary is the Stark County sheriffs knew about this. Did they blow up the FBI and say the Portage County sheriffs are going Nazi on Karen? Now they're talking about illegal search and seizure and we can't look at it per Department of Justice. It's the 4th Amendment. We'd lose our badge for aiding and abetting. And they're aiding and abetting by staying quiet. I went down to the Tuscarora Sheriff's to get my CCW. And he said the Portage County Sheriffs are sending out emails, not to believe you, that Dave ever harmed you or anybody threatened your life. He's like, it's illegal for them to send out that email. They can go to jail for that. You can't tell someone not to leave somebody in trouble and they're getting harmed and threatened. You tell me what's going on. So I started at the beginning all the way up to the point where they impersonated a federal officer. He looked at me and said, we all know your ex-husband's crazy. He said, you need to get a hold of the FBI. Tell them to arrest the Portage County Sheriffs for doing this for you. And he told me when I went back to pick up my CCW to get someone to move me out of here. Because any kind of police or anybody, they say they have a tape before the FBI, they would have to look at them and say, I want to see the special protector light case. And I want to see the body cam of Karen and Dave's Miranda rights. And you telling them that there's a threat on her life. If you can't pull it out, then you're in jail for stalking these people and breaking in and entering. And no, I can't look at it. And I've already heard about it. Like they said, June of 19 at Liberty House here, they made up a case to watch me before they did something funny to me because she liked him. In front of the North Canton Jackson police, some guy said they had fake paperwork. I have no charges. I've never even been questioned of the police of wrongdoing. I have never been prosecuted nor found guilty. There's nothing. During the state case, Will created and turned over the police. Massillon police will verify because they watched Dix on Federal Avenue. My daughter-in-law that was found innocent a long time ago. 18, actually. They found all the grandkids lying because they wanted Auntie Shell to get the house in. Brother making everything up. Everybody else spoke highly of me. And I don't think any of this is funny. Nobody does. They got down to less and less people helping out today. I don't think retired Judge Pete and his family, Michelle's mother bragged Memorial Day weekend 2019 at the food counter in Walmart, screamed it out for Walmart. For it's my daughter, her husband dates. He met her in Ravenna when she was having a stomach spells. For my daughter, they did all this for her and our family watching her doing this. It's them being rogue and corrupting a couple bad cops to help out on their own. They need to lose their badge. They need to be put in jail. They're human traffickers, exploiting people for money. Someone needs to help me, and somebody needs to get me out of here. It's scary when other sheriff's departments know what's going on and they look the other way and let other ones commit crimes. Because I told you, a couple of the Stark County sheriffs, are you interested in working Karen around the house? What's that? One of us have to watch her, listen to her every day. It's protected like custody. Something bad happens, you're supposed to come running. That's why they let you watch them in the house, not just witness it. And they knew those cops raped me. Told you the usher yelled at. Faith Family Church yelled at them. What you did was consider rape. You leave her alone. And they need to answer for not blowing up the FBI. And Department of Justice come arrest these dirty cops for committing all these heinous crimes down here. Even Maslin was laughing that on November 24, 21, 8:40 a.m. Stat Care, we're here to watch her. There's a Stephen Eric stalking her. We don't know who they are yet. And it's finally got funny after everything they did. Nothing's admissible. No, it's not. I talked to 2 retired sheriffs. They're like, how stupid are these people for falling for any of this? And those officers, you have asked for help. If they don't help you, they can be held financially and legally responsible for the other one's crimes. It's actually a federal law. You know, that's why they're sending out those emails. So people are stupid and don't do their damn jobs. And then they pass the buck on who's responsible. They're falling for their traps. Yeah, because that's the retired sheriff said, I know there's a judge's family involved, but people need to start doing their damn jobs. They do.